changes the probability of someone paying back. And that's something really worth pursuing. So what's an example of that? Well, one of the things we're trying to look at is repayment schedules. So what does that mean? Okay, just a quick intro into like Financial 101. The target audience we're looking at, the ones we're working with, right, make between 20,000 up to 2 or 3 lakh a month. So it's a pretty wide range, and one of the major segments of the population is making 20,000 to 80,000 a month. Okay, and this part of the population generally earns and spends every month. They don't really necessarily have a lot of buffer. They mostly spend what they earn, right? And they save a little bit, but that's only a little bit. And their financial life is cyclical. So every month they make a certain amount and they spend a certain amount. Okay, so let's, what this graph shows is that one particular user, and I pulled this user out because we noticed they were getting a lot of late notices. So what this graph shows is red bars are late notices. The blue line is their bank balance over time. Okay, so you can see that when they get a late notice here, right around February 19th, right? It makes sense that they got a late notice because they didn't have enough money in their account to make the payment. So a few days later, about a week later, they get another late notice, and they put some money in their account. They make the payment. That's a purple line, a purple bar. They make the payment, spend the rest of the money, and another week, they don't really have anything left in their account. And then it happens again. And every month, in this case is around March 19th, they get paid. And when they get paid, they have money in their account, and then they start to spend it, and probably by early, because they got paid on the 19th, about the early to mid part of the next month, they've run out of money. And a lot of times you have things like payday loans that kind of help you bridge that. But the point is that life is cyclical. There's a pattern to it, right? Okay, so a lot of banks and NBFCs, when they lend, they are not personalizing at all. They're making a personal decision about whether you're going to pay them back, but then it stops, like I said, right? Okay, so if, say, you make a payment date, everyone has to pay on the 3rd of the month. Okay, if you get paid on the 31st, then having a due date on the 3rd is pretty great. You got paid, you have money in your account, right? It hasn't been all spent, and you're going to make your payment. But if you get paid on the 10th or 11th or the 19th, having a due date on the 3rd is pretty close to the end of your month, right? So that the likelihood of you repaying is just a little bit lower. And there's this thing, so like I said, my background's in cognitive science, and there's this concept of what's called cognitive depletion. Cognitive depletion is the notion of your mind being like a muscle, okay? And you can work it out so and then it gets tired. Same way if you're lifting a lot of things, you get tired, you have to stop for a while. Your brain's the same way. And so our target market, just like they're making a certain amount, they also have a certain style of life. They go to work every day. You know, they've got deadlines. Their boss is wanting something and something else the next day. And then they get home and they've got children and they've got a spouse and they've got a TV show to watch. And the time spent on making a financial decision is depleted, right? So the ability, if you get paid on the 19th, to keep your money to the end of the month is a little bit less likely, right? So if you can ask, if your model can actually say, when does a person get paid, then you can kind of schedule the repayment right after they get paid, and you can increase the likelihood of them being able to pay you back and not pay late fees and get trapped in that vicious cycle that's difficult. Okay, I think we're running out of time, so I'll just speed through. All this is great, but and it's like, oh, data, there's so much value there, there's so much gold there. But a lot of times it's really unstructured, it's really poorly formatted. So you have to be thinking about, as an organization, how do you do things in a way that ensures you have quality data so that your machines can focus on what they do best, which is computation, and you can focus on what you do best, which is keeping things organized, ordered, so that your machines can learn. And just an example of this is that the British Medical Journal had, right, there's awards of best medical contributions, and you think it might be brain surgery or face transplants, right? These are the things that wow you, right? But one of the top awards, that's sort of top recommendations, was cleaning hands. One of the greatest medical advances of 150 years was washing your hands. So you can do whatever you want, but if you keep yourself sanitary as a doctor, as a surgeon, you massively improve your results. And it's the same thing. A lot of times, as a young computer science person, you're thinking about deep learning and neural networks, right? And it's like you're going to go in there and do invasive brain surgery, but you never wash your hands. It doesn't matter how good your invasive surgery was if you didn't wash your hands. And keeping your data clean is very related to this. And I think we're at time. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of, I hope, some interesting examples of how organizations can change themselves to facilitate machine learning. And thanks for listening.
Thank you, Paul. It's very interesting how we started the day and how Paul has concluded the day for us. We started with this debate on whether machines will take over humans and humans would not be required and there'll be redundancy of sorts in the system. And Paul has concluded using his own experience and the domain he comes from, saying that there'll always be this mid-bracket where we need to strike the right balance between what machines can do and what humans can offer. So this is an absolute fantastic closure, if I may say, of the talks that we've had today. We've had fantastic speakers with us. Thank you very much for all of you to join us, and all the audience who've been listening to our talks and conversations and some madness that I created once in a while very, very patiently. Before we call it a day, I would like to request Mr. Narinder Sahu from Vista Infosec to please come on stage and tell us who's the luckiest person in the room by drawing the lucky draw.
Oh, yes. All right. Okay, we can get this done by the dear lady over here. So, remains unbiased. All right.
No, my card is there as well.
I don't know. I just put everything inside here. Okay.
If it's mine, there's no cheating.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, is it? No. It is. Oh, it's Mr. N.P. Sanodia from Bharat Electricals Limited, BHEL. Is it there? Is not. Okay, anyone?
Any representative?
Anyone from his company? Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited? I think they left for the day. Alright, maybe we can try and...
Another one? Oh, not me again.
I'm sorry. It is Bharat Petroleum, Manisha Nair. She also left. Anybody else from her? Okay, yeah, so perhaps you can take it on her behalf. All right. We just kept one lucky dip today. There will be 3 tomorrow, so drop in a card tomorrow. So maybe you'll get 3 times more chance to collect. Anyway.
Can I request you all to please be seated? We're not done. Just 5 minutes more. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another quick announcement. We have a stall of PMI, which is Project Management Company. They have a conference that they're holding in Mumbai from 17th to 19th of November. So do make time to visit, and if you've already made up your mind to do that, then they're offering some fantastic discounts for you to register yourself today, more so because you're CSI members, and also for the fact that you're here today and they have a booth right outside. So if you wish to attend, it's happening at the Renaissance Hotel, Mumbai, from 17th to 19th of November. May I now request Mr. S.K. Chaube to join me here on stage, the NC member, CSI Mumbai chapter, to honor the last set of speakers we've had this evening. To receive the honors, may I request the following to please join us: Mr. Gabriel Lim from Singapore and Mr. Paul. A huge round of applause for them, please. Thank you, Mr. Chaube. And thank you all once again for being fantastic audience. Tomorrow is another Power Pack day. We have a lot of speakers coming in from organizations such as NPCI, BSC, Burger King, Axis Bank, Vista, Hike Messenger, and Microsoft, just to name a few. Needless to say, we have a fantastic and a huge award ceremony happening as well, which you just cannot miss. So, we'll see you here tomorrow. Have a great evening ahead.
2 more minutes.
Okay, we need 2 more minutes, yeah.
2 more minutes, that's it.
Yes.
To an end, but we are not at the end of the show. We are continuing tomorrow, but Yukti won't be with us tomorrow, so I have been requested to do the honors to hand her over a memento. Yukti, you've been a wonderful and nice comparer. You made the day lively for all the audience who are waiting right up to now.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Please come. This way. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you for the honor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fantastic evening ahead. This is Yukti Mendirata signing off.